Jason Aldean in studio. What's up, man? Have you been doing anything lately? What's been?
Just on the road, man.
Oh, okay.
On the road in the middle of the Highway Desperado Tour. We got like 2 more weeks of this thing, and we wrap up for the year. So
I saw you with playing with Toby the other night.
yeah, man, it was so fun. We had a show in Oklahoma City, and Toby came out during the day and hung out just for a little bit, and talked. And
How's he doing?
he's good, man. He seems to be in good spirits, and he came out that night, jumped on stage, played, and hung out for a couple hours after the show, just talking and cutting up, telling stories. Like he seemed to be doing good.
Yeah.
I know he's going through all the stuff he's going through and has been for a couple years, and I know it's been rough on him, but he seemed to be in good spirits and looked as good as I guess you can look.
Toby was always one of my favorites because he didn't care. You know what's also interesting? Like, I think about, he had a song called 35 Mile an Hour Town or whatever. That was it, right? 35 Mile an Hour Town?
Something like 30 mile an hour.
Anyway, that was basically Try That in a Small Town, but 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And Toby got no hate. And I always thought whenever that,
different time in our country.
Yeah, it was.
Different time.
But I'm like, that's basically the same song, and nobody was mad
Oh my
then.
God, there's nobody songs have been out like that. There's been countless songs out like that.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me started on it. That's the thing. 10 years ago, a song like that would have been like, applauded. Now it's just everything. Everybody is so easily triggered by everything these days. Whatever side you're on, like you're easily triggered. People are just so sensitive to everything now, and it's like you say anything, and people just lose their mind.
But that was the best thing for that song. I mean, it blew up because of that. People were like, "If you don't play this song, I'll never listen to your radio station." I mean, it was crazy.
Well, all the stuff that happened with that song, was definitely something that I didn't expect. I mean, I thought the song would start a conversation, which is what I hoped it would do. Because, I think anybody that looks at what's going on with our country the last few years, and really open-mindedly looks at it with some common sense, it's like, man, this is wild. This is really crazy, and I don't know. I'm just not okay with that.
It's also bigger than politics. It doesn't matter if you're left or right or center or
That's
whatever.
The thing. It doesn't matter if you're left or right. I mean, right is right and wrong is wrong, period. I don't care.
Yeah.
In my mind, that's how I look at it. Forget what side of the fence you stand on. People doing this, breaking in, stealing people's stuff, spitting in cops' face, all that. That stuff is wrong. I don't care how much you want to debate it with me. It's just wrong.
Right.
And so I thought it would start a conversation. The video, I wanted to I remember thinking my idea for the video was, you guys probably remember this, the We Didn't Start the Fire Billy Joel video back in the day. It's like that was kind of my template of what I kind of wanted to go for. And once that video came out, man, it just, things exploded. And then all of a sudden everybody's going, oh, I think it means this. And I think it means, oh, he's saying this. And
he filmed it at this place. You know what happened there?
Hannah Montana.
You know what the funny, the courthouse they made such a big deal about. And, it was like, dude, that's my county courthouse. That's where I go to get my car tags. You know what I mean? It's 5 minutes from my house or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is why we filmed it there, was for convenience. But, obviously everybody's going to make up their own stories about whatever. And so it was just wild.
I thought about you. I was thought about you. Like, were you just like keeping your head down? I know we sent a text. It's kind of like, hey, hang in there. But were you just like?
I think for the first couple of days, like, once it came out and so everybody on social media got to have an opinion, and they're talking about it on The View and all that kind of stuff, and, already creating their narrative for what they think it is. There was a couple days there where I was like, uh-oh. But, I also, I always said, man, when I do something like that, I feel like I'm on the right side of it, right? Like, I feel like maybe everybody does, I don't know, but I feel like, the way I'm speaking, I feel like there's a lot of people out there that feel the same way I do, that are just scared to say anything because they may lose a job or they may do whatever.
Sure.
And so, I think after a couple days, you kind of started to see the tides turn a little bit, and it was like people are on there going, I don't get it. Like, I don't get what the big deal is about it. And I'm like, all right, here we go.
And that was the thing, is when I saw people from both sides of the fence saying, what's wrong with this?
Yeah.
You know, when you listen to the messaging, what's wrong? And that's when people kind of went, yeah, that's
if you want to hear it, understand it, and get it, you're going to. And if you don't want to get it and you want to draw some other conclusion because it makes you feel better about the way you think, then that's what you're going to do. And if that's the case, like, you're never going to see my point. So there's no point in me arguing with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but you know, I love the song. I was, you know, really excited to cut that song. And it's been a long time since I cut a video that I was, you know, excited about and thought that actually meant something. And so for that reason, you know, I was extremely proud of the song, the video, and proud of what it's done. And you know, if somebody saw something other than what I was trying to say in there, then I don't know, maybe go watch it again.
We have video and audio of Jason just days after it came out. It was nothing. No, this was his
phone just blowing up.
Was it just nonstop?
Oh
was your
my
phone
God,
just going
dude.
stupid?
It was people losing their minds, and even my camp was like, nobody knew what to do.
Right.
No, it's just like with comedy. You know, people can twist intent any way they want. And it's your job to put the content out there and to make the statement or make the joke or whatever. It's not your job to interpret how people are going to receive it.
For sure. And I think the problem we have now is just, you know, in mainstream media and in social media, you know, everybody gets to have an opinion on whatever you do. And so once, you know, a narrative starts to get twisted around, or this person says whatever, then you got all these people on social media that jump on that bandwagon and start reposting things.
And then
they
the
don't
bots.
even know what it means, right? Like they haven't even taken the time to listen to it or even try to understand it. It's just like, oh, well, I agree with that person and they don't like it, so now I don't like it, or I do, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I just, you know, I don't base my decisions on those kind of things. It's like, man, that's how I feel. I feel like there's a lot of other people that think the way I do, and a lot of them, you know, won't speak up for fear of whatever it is. Yep. And you know, I'm an artist, man. Like, this is my art. This is what I do. This is how I express myself. And I remember going to the label and saying, man, I can give you guys another song that's right down the middle, you know, another just radio candy song. I'm like, but at this point in my career, I just, you know, to do songs that actually kind of mean something, you know, these kind of things don't come along very often. And so it was important to me to put that song out, especially at this time. And it's just never ending. Like, look at, you know, what's going on now over in Israel and Palestine with all that stuff. And so it's just like a never ending thing. It's tired to me at this point. It's like, get it together already.
Yeah. And Honky Donk, but Donkey Donk was already cut.
Yeah. So
couldn't do that one. Yeah. Speaking of, it's Try That in a Small Town. Jason Aldean in the studio with us. Come back, talk more with him and the tour and more on the way. Jason Aldean, Try That in a Small Town. Who was the coolest person that reached out to you to text you and go,
Me?
Hey, man, hang in there?
I don't know. There was a lot. You know, there was a lot of.
Anyone surprise you?
Trying to think. To be honest, man, I can't even remember because it was, like you said, it was just kind of nonstop for a few days. But you know, it was a lot of country artists and you know, just people that I've met over the years, people that, you know me and know the deal. So, but you know, it's, again, a lot of them will call me and be like, hey, you know.
But they don't want to say it outside.
Right.
Out public.
Yeah. And that's, you know, that's kind of where we are right now. So it's like, yeah, hey, you know, I appreciate the text, and, you know, I kind of wish more of you guys would say something, but
you know, you can put this in a tweet.
Yeah. Right. Instagram it.
Yes.
But, you know, it's fine. I mean, it's, like I said, I get it to an extent.
Did you make a list? Did you make a list of the people who didn't come out?
I could go back and read through my texts.
All right, Jason Aldean's with us. We'll come back more with Jason in the studio on the way next. Hang on. Jason Aldean in the studio with us as you got, of course, Try That in a Small Town, working on the new album, which is going to be coming out, Highway Desperado. What's going to be on that one?
I think we got 14 songs on that record, and really cool, man. I mean, I know everybody says this when they make an album. It's like, oh man, this record is one of my favorites. This thing is really cool. I don't know. We just kind of hit a new stride. I feel like from the time we cut the last album, where we just kind of got locked in. I started jumping back in, writing a little bit for this album too. So I got, I think, 3 songs on the album that I wrote, and I don't know. It just kind of felt like we were really getting locked in on just a cool sound, different sound. And I think this many years in recording this many albums, it gets kind of hard to reinvent yourself sometimes. You know what I mean? Like when you've done it that much. And so I feel like this is kind of an album that allowed us to do that a little bit. And
is there anything that makes you uncomfortable about it? Like, I remember whenever we first talked to you, whenever Dirt Road Anthem came out, you were like, I didn't really feel good rapping at first.
Yeah, I mean, that was weird just because it was such a different song. You know, I think people listen to, songs that have been out since then, and it doesn't seem that different now, but at the time it was a big leap.
And it was a different thing for you to do.
Yeah, for sure. And so, that was something that, it was kind of a roll of the dice for me. But I think on this album, it's just more like the songs are really cool and different, melodically and just sonically, everything. It's kind of a new, it's like familiar, but not the same. You know what I mean? It's like familiar, but it's almost like this second phase of like what we're going to be getting into and doing. And so it's a little different too. And I think, like I said, man, it's hard when I think this is our 11th album, and it's like, man, how do we keep being different? It's
be us, but be different, a new version of us.
And I feel like we kind of accomplished that with this record. So I'm excited to get it out there and people check it out.
Is Try This in a moderately sized town? Is that in there? Is that
that's going to be on the next album?
It's going to be the new one. Yeah. Try that in a really, really big town. That would be a great one too. I like that one. Or how about you can get away with this in a big town, and it's like all the dumb things people do in big towns.
Do this in a big town, like keep it over there.
Yeah. You can do that. You can do that in a big. It's already this thing is. It's writing itself. It's writing. Are you writing this down? Do you need a pen?
No, I'm good. I've got it locked in.
All right, Jason Aldean's with us. We'll take a break. Come right back. More with Jason on the way. Hang on. Jason Aldean in the studio with us. Bubba was asking earlier if Britt was coming by. Did you bring her?
He never brings her.
She doesn't like you guys.
Is that what it is? Hey, look, I understand. That's fine. No, it's just like you've never brought her by. Out of all these years, dude, we've known you forever.
Yeah.
You've never brought anybody by. You've never even brought one of the kids by. You've never brought any family at all. Where's mom?
Are you ashamed?
Well, so Memphis started kindergarten this year.
What?
So she's got to take him to school and do all that kind of stuff. So somebody's got to do that while I'm out here talking to you guys.
Oh yeah, all right.
Yeah. Is he like all in? Is he like?
No, he hates it.
100%. Oh, really?
Yeah. He doesn't dig it at all.
Oh.
So every day we're like, all right, man, you got to go to school. And he's like, really, today? I was like, yeah, today, man. And so he goes, what time am I getting out? He wants to know when he's getting out before he even gets there. It is my kid. Trust me, he is. He is from my
early,
genes.
Though, to have started that at kindergarten is crazy. Like, I loved kindergarten. I even liked first grade.
I never liked school at all. I never liked it at all.
Even the young, dumb stuff you didn't care for?
No. I mean, I like going and hanging out with my friends and playing ball.
Nap time was where I was at.
Extracurricular stuff, but the actual going to class and going to school, like, that sucked.
You going to keep him in? Or are you going to homeschool?
I don't know. We're kind of doing a little bit of both right now because we travel and they travel with me, and we spend a lot of time in Florida too, down there at our house. So it's kind of where we can do both a little bit, and
it makes sense for a lot of artists.
Yeah, I mean it's hard, man. It's you don't want to be kind of locked down to being here in Nashville all the time.
And also, I'm not saying that you should teach. My God.
Oh, you don't want me teaching, bro.
This would be the dumbest kid ever.
No.
You cannot teach.
He'd be the most street smart kid ever. But the dumbest book smart kid.
Oh, yeah. He'd look good on stage. He could sing.
Yeah, he'd be like a world traveler. He'd be cool.
Yeah.
He may not know what 2 + 2 is.
The only problem with homeschool kids, though, is that mom needs a break, too. You know? And I just, my heart goes out to all the homeschool parents because they're just always constantly in mom or dad mode.
Well, that's the thing, man. It's like you can't wait for it's like sad when your kids go to school, but then when they finally go, you're like, man, I got like a whole day to myself to do something all of a sudden, you know?
That's right.
So if you got to stay home and it's just like, oh, that's a nightmare.
Check Jason out online and on the tour, plus the new album, Highway Desperado, coming out on the 3rd of November. Looking forward to hearing that.
Is the pre-order for that available yet?
Yes, it is. Should be on iTunes and all that kind of stuff, wherever you get your music. Where everybody
should be. I think it's at Dollar General. You can get it.
Hell, I don't know. Do people even buy them anymore? Do they even pre-order them anymore?
They'll do like the preload where it like loads onto their phone or whatever.
Gotcha.
It's a weird thing.
It should be able to do that somewhere.
Jason Aldean, everyone. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you guys having me, man.
Well, because over the years, teenage kids have told you to like and subscribe, we don't have to say that anymore. You know what to do.